Well, when we ordered this Model Y, we decided to go with the 7-passenger this time, and the reason was from time to time we need to be able to fit at least one more adult in this back seat. So with the 7-passenger, we know that there's enough room for children to sit back there, but of course our kids are still in car seats, and there's a lot to factor in which is the right car seat for your Tesla Model Y or your Tesla Model 3. But now that we have the 7-passenger, it's even more important to find the right car seat because that very back row, it's very small. There's been a lot of discussion around which car seat is best for a Tesla. Now, Diono does make extremely narrow car seats, and fortunately for us, the size of our children works out really well for a more narrow car seat. We've been sporting the Chicco car seats for a long time, and we're big fans of them. They're very safe car seats, and they're very easy to use. Now, Diono, what they do is they add additional layers of protection all around this car seat and have a true steel frame inside of the car seat. Now, what that means is it's going to be a little bit stronger, which means you can have less bulk. So that's how they're able to get these car seats so narrow. Now, Diono has a number of different car seats available, but the point of these car seats is they're specifically designed to be 3 across, and it's in the model name itself. So by having it so narrow, technically, you can fit 3 car seats in the back of this car. And I know it works in this car because it also works in the Model 3. You can fit 3 Diono car seats in this second row. Now, we're not going to be putting 3 car seats in here, and what we really need is car seats that are going to fit in that third row and have enough room to be comfortable back there. Now, our kids are 2 years apart, so although both of them are still going to be in a harness, one of them will use the latch and one of them will use the seat belt. Now, in the third row, there's no latch back there, so you have to use a seat belt for both car seats, and that is totally acceptable. As a matter of fact, the shear rating on the seat belt is much higher than those latches that come on car seats. But what's nice is almost every car seat has a way to accommodate both a latch or the seat belt. So what you're looking at right now is really the big problem. So we've got both these car seats in here, and they're very bulky, as you can tell. And with that bulk, that means nobody can fit there in the middle. And even if we push these car seats next to each other, there would not be enough room for a small or large person to sit back there. With these Diono seats, my guess is, and we're going to find out together, I'm probably going to be able to fit both car seats next to each other in this row and have this one seat available. And then when we need additional space in the very back in the third row, I believe that these Diono car seats are going to fit very nicely in that third row. I have not put these in yet, so we're going to find out exactly how well this works together right here today. But first, I'm going to take these car seats out and we're going to see just how much difference it makes by having the Diono narrow seats versus these 2 very bulky car seats.
I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Phantom Wallet. Phantom Wallet offers premium wallet designs with an aluminum chassis with options of wood, leather, and carbon fiber finishes. Grab the cards you need with a quick flip of the lever. RFID and NFC protection are built in, ensuring a safe and secure alternative to traditional options. Make sure to use code BTG to save 10% on your order.
All right, so I'm here in the back seat now, and what I'm going to try to do is determine the difference in the available space between these 2 car seats versus when I put the Dionos in this same row first, and then we'll go ahead and put them in the very back and show you what that looks like. So not including cup holders, we're talking about 10.5 inches at its narrowest. Well, maybe more like 10 inches. So we have about 10 inches of space right here, which is not a lot. I believe that this is a 12-inch piece right here, so that kind of gives you an idea. We're encroaching about an inch in on both these seats. Now, there's probably an opportunity to kind of squish them around a little bit, but as they sit secured, it's about 10 inches. Okay, well, if you have kids, you know how much fun it is to deal with car seats. Just such an absolute joy. So let's see what our width looks like now. So there's 12 inches without even trying. So I could probably scoot these seats closer to the outside. Now there's 12 inches. It's probably a little narrow for me, but let's see what it looks like. So it's a little narrow for me, of course, but what you can do is you can place these two car seats next to each other, and then you'll have the benefit of all that space by the door, kind of like an airplane on the window seat. Can kind of lean more towards the door, and there's a little bit of space over there. So, but a small person could definitely sit here. Like a child, a very small child could fit in this seat in the middle if you wanted to do it that way. I personally would recommend putting these two car seats right next to each other. So that's what it looks like. You're gonna gain a couple of inches of space right here, which is pretty good. And those are some pretty bulky car seats that I have. So I'm not surprised to see gains like that. But what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna move these seats to the very back. All right, so as you can see, both these seats do fit back here, and I think the point is you don't have to get other car seats. You can use what you already have, assuming forward facing works for you and the car seat still works out all right for you. Now, the issue we're gonna have with these seats, there's two things. Number one, the amount of space these seats sit forward as they're reclined right now is going to limit the amount of room we can move these back. Now, we need leg room for them anyways, so this middle row is not likely going to be able to go all the way back anyways, but that does take away some of the available space. The side to side looks like it works out great. These car seats are very popular, very common car seats on the market, so it's very likely that you probably have one or both of these car seats as well. So they fit just fine. I don't have these latched in, and that will tighten them up just a little bit, but I'm gonna show you how tight it is back there once I flip this seat up. All right, so there you have it. These two car seats definitely fit a bit better, and I'll show you what it looks like down here. It's a little bit less forward, which is a good thing, but it's not by a lot. But I will say what's nice about these car seats over the other ones is the flexibility of putting these car seats in the second row and still being able to fit somebody here. So we'll use this like as an example. Right now, we have family in town from Texas. There's 7 of us right now, including the kids. So this is perfect. This is exactly why we got the 7-passenger Model Y, and we're going to be putting it to the test moving forward. So there you have it. This is not a car seat review. This is just showing you some of the differences in some of the car seats that are available and why we personally made the decision to make the investment and go with the Diono seats, so that way we had just a little bit more flexibility. Again, this will fit 3 across the middle, and that's for both a Model 3 and a Model Y. So if your situation dictates you need 3 kids in a car seat and you have a Model 3 or a Model Y, certainly look at the Dionos. If you get the 7-passenger, even if you only have 2 kids, you may want to consider something like this. I'm not saying go out and get these. They're not cheap at all, but it is nice to have the ability to flip the configuration around and still fit people right here, which is perfect. This is exactly what we need. We will be doing plenty of road trips, and there will be people with us on those road trips. So I'm very excited to have the ability or the flexibility to be able to fit as many people as we need to in this car. So again, this is exactly why we bought the 7-seater. I'm so glad that we did. I'm so glad that we went ahead and pulled the trigger on these car seats as well. A lot less bulky. So for those of you that were wondering about car seats in a Model Y, now you know. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.